So we're going to take a look at quarterbacks and their check down rates the last 2 seasons, specifically on third downs. Again, this was from Pro Football Focus. And Josh Allen, this is a percentage based as far as the rankings go. We didn't show the percentage on this, but Josh Allen, the lowest check down rate, did it just once. Patrick Mahomes, third lowest rather. Ben Roethlisberger was in there, but he had such few attempts we didn't put him on it. Then Darnold, Baker Mayfield was fifth. Now the important thing to remember about Allen and Mahomes, both run quite a bit, so the check down not as critical. And you see Baker Mayfield with seventh. Keep in mind Mayfield threw a significant amount of interceptions, particularly last year. And the thought being, might have been forcing the ball some. Let's welcome back in Doug Lesmerises. And Doug, we've already mentioned, that line obviously factors into that, but you would think that would force him to throw to his check down even more often. I think, Baker Mayfield's so confident in his arm, sometimes threw the ball into areas where the windows were just too tight.
Do I have to be pro check down?
No, you do not. You do not.
I was looking, I have this PFF thing pulled up. There's like another 2-year list. It's like the guy who checks it down all the time was Blake Bortles.
Good point.
I'd be okay with chucking it 80 yards downfield on third down. Listen, I think a lot of these lists, you go through it, there's a couple different check down lists on that site. A lot of young quarterbacks not checking it down, right? So you learn. It seems like a very normal thing that young quarterbacks, especially ones that believe in themselves. You know who checked it down a lot? Eli Manning, right? I mean, it's like you're old and you're freaky. It ties back into Baker. I think it is and this probably isn't statistically accurate. All right, so it's not accurate at all. But right, it seems to me that like if you don't check it down, it's because you believe in yourself. I want a quarterback who believes in himself, that he thinks he can squeeze it into a non-existent window on 3rd and 7. So I think it comes with maturity with all of us, Dave. As we get older, we realize we don't have to do it all ourselves. And that in life, shouldn't all of us in life be looking for check down? So I just think I would chalk this up mostly to the older you get, the more quarterbacks are aware of this. But I also don't think it's exactly in Baker's nature. So Alex Van Pelt and Kevin Stefanski might be drumming this into his head this offseason to look for this at least a little more often.
Well, and the flip side of that is there are times where it's fine to go for it. I think you hit on it. You have to learn at what point in time do you want to do that, and at what point in the game do you want to check it down and live to play another set of downs. Punt the ball, put your defense on the field, and let's go get them again. And I think, again, that's the decision that you have to – I think you hit on it. That's Kevin Stefanski and Alex Van Pelt are going to have to say, these are when we want you to do this.
And I don't know that isn't specific. Some of those third down check downs, especially on third down, it's like, we checked it down on 3rd and 11 and got 6 yards. Congratulations. What is that? I mean, I get it. Live to fight another day, but he's not throwing picks every time he doesn't check it down. He threw too many picks last year. I get it. The receivers also had a lot of balls go through their hands. So I would rather have a quarterback that you have to encourage to check it down more often than have a quarterback who loves to check it down, and you're trying to tell him, listen, man, maybe a fewer 4-yard pass, right? Let's push it down the field a little bit. So this, again, it ties in. But the best of Baker Mayfield, I'm sure there are times last year where you could go back and look on the film and see him forcing the ball to somebody on 3rd and 8 and think, man, if he just would have swung it over there to Nick Chubb, I think Nick Chubb might have had room to get a first down. So that's another thing. You have a guy like Nick Chubb who can catch it and do some stuff with it. If we're in year 8 and he's not successful, then it's more of an issue. But I think there's a great balance. I think we can look at stats incorrectly sometimes with quarterbacks. Interceptions aren't always bad stat. Sacks aren't always bad stat. Not checking it down is not always a bad stat because it ties into guys who are willing to risk it to make a play. And you have to balance it with their big play percentages. And I think that's probably Baker didn't make as many big plays, didn't successfully make them last year. But I think when he's at his best, he might do all those things. Throw picks, not check it down, take sacks, but also make big plays down the field that sometimes win you games. All that balance.
Is that something you think is a strength? I mean, Baker Mayfield, the belief, and how do you turn that strength into something that's a strength for the team? That he's willing to go for it.
Yeah, I think it's a strength. I think at its best it permeates the team, and I think it's a matter of pulling it back from 100 to 80. Right, that you can't do it 100% of the time. Let's pull it back 80% of the time and be smart about it. But again, Patrick Mahomes doesn't check it down. Now, Patrick Mahomes, his arm and his ability to make throws on the move and to run when he needs to, tremendous. If I was Patrick Mahomes, I'd never check it down. I believe there's proof. It's not just belief. There's proof with Patrick Mahomes. But that's who you've got. It's not the only way to win at quarterback, but that's who this guy is. That's the guy that you pick. That's why we all compare him, rightly or wrongly, to Brett Favre. This is gunslinger equation when you're talking about check down. So I'm okay. I want the big play percentage, and that's where I want to see that come along. I want to see them be dangerous, and I just think that is their best hope down the line. And so I hope, and I'm still anticipating that this is the kind of thing, and this is fun. You see a quarterback grow. I hope Cleveland Browns fans get to see Baker Mayfield learn and grow and change a little bit, but stay true to himself over the next 10, 12 years. And you get to think back, when he was like this, then he went like this. That is a great, fun, interesting thing for a fan base to do, to watch that quarterback for his whole career win and grow at the same time. And I'd love to have a check down conversation in 2027 about Baker Mayfield and see where he is. I hope he's here, and I hope you and I are both here to do it.